I said I'd do another video on what it is that I do to get my backpack packed up. So with that, here goes. First thing I'm going to lead off with is one of the first things I would pack would be my inflatable sleeping pad, but I've just treated it with some seam grip, spread it all over. It's a silicone and seam grip tent and pad sealant. And the reason I did that is to help provide some grip, keep my sleeping bag from slipping off the sides of it. There's a lot of slippage at night that can keep you awake when you're trying to keep your sleeping bag on your pad. So I went ahead and put the seam grip on that, and I'll show you guys just as another tip is I've got Velcro stuck on the bottom side of the foam pad, and Velcro, I don't know if you can see that on the bottom side of the inflatable pad. So these two will stick together, seam grip on top to hopefully keep my sleeping bag from sliding, and we'll get to try that out Saturday night as we get back on trail. Anyway, with that, let's have at it. So generally I'm going to get my foam pad on here so the bag it'll help the bag sit upright a little better as I get everything packed. So what I've got, kind of mentioned it in the gear video, is the Z-Packs airplane bag. It also works as a large bag liner. And I also mentioned, I'll mention again, a lot of people are content with just using a compactor bag in place of this. But I'm going to get this in my backpack. First thing that I would do is I would fold up this inflatable pad, square about the same size as the bottom of the backpack, and I would stuff that down in there first. Since my seam grip has got to dry, I'll take care of getting the pad in the backpack later on. So the next thing I'm going to put in is my inflatable pillow and my sleeping bag. Of it, the sleeping bag, if that was it, could easily take up all the room in the backpack, but that's not going to happen, and we'll show you what we're going to do very shortly. Make sure that the sleeping bag is tucked down in there. It's tucked around all the sides and the back. It's taken up all the available space. And what I got from Bill at mountain crossings, the term that he used referring to the first stuff you put in your backpack is keep your powder dry. It's a reference to gunpowder, obviously from the old musket and flintlock days. But basically it means keep your very important stuff dry, keep your camp stuff dry. It's going to be your sleeping bag, it's going to be your camp clothes, maybe an extra change of socks. It's going to be your bag with your electronics in it. All those things that you're going to want to keep dry. So we've got our pillow and our sleeping bag. The next thing we're going to want to put in there is all of our camp clothes. So I'm going to have my gloves, my extra gloves, my camp and sleep hat. I'm going to have my camp pants, my base layer bottoms, my base layer top, my fleece top are going to be the next things that go in after my sleeping bag. And I don't want to ball these all up and make them like a big rock. And I'm not going to get a super neat job if I fold them, but I do just want to have them kind of flat so they take up the least amount of space. Electronics bag with our cords, our backup power station. I know it's going to be cool and cold when I get back out on trail, so I know I'm not going to be wearing my shorts. So I'm going to go ahead and pack my trail shorts with my camp clothes. And I'm going to pack my extra set of socks in with my camp clothes. Make sure that those stay dry. Extra set of underwear also goes in there. And probably the last thing I'm going to put in the dry bag in the bottom of my pack is going to be medications. Okay, once I have everything I want in my initial dry bag, I'm going to compress it and make sure that it's not going to let any water in. Now I'll do that is I'm going to the bag right down at the base of it where everything's packed, and I'm gonna hold that bag together and I'm gonna push all around and pack that bag down and allow any air to escape. And keep that bag cinched tight so no air can get back in. Basically a manual method of vacuum sealing the bag, and that's going to take all the air out. It's going to compress it down, and it's going to leave me with a lot more room in my backpack. I'm actually going to do that on the floor because there's a lot of give to the bed. So that's what we're left with. So the next thing I'm going to pack is my tent. Okay, that was just a rain fly. Excuse me. And I'll show you that packed in mostly around that dry bag I've got in the bottom. So we still haven't used much room. Next, I'm going to put my rags that I would use to clean the condensation off my tent. Cook pot. It's a great storage space for my Luco tape because it's kind of bulky. Take my fuel canister. Got my nighttime don't leave the tent bag. So next is going to be my food bag. Okay, so I'm going to guess that my lightweight rain jacket is going to be fine. I hike pretty warm. This is going to keep the wind off me. I think this is going to be fine to start out. So I'm going to go ahead and take my puffy, and I'm going to take my puffy vest, and I'm going to go ahead and pack those in the back. The Summit dry day pack, along with my extra set of Oregon Research gloves because I've got my REI gloves. Okay, now we're ready to close the backpack up. Sit pad top. Reconnect my multi-pack. Our Platypus 2-liter water bladder. Your poo-poo kit and our camp trowel are going to go in the mesh bucket. Got our cleanup wipes, sunscreen, blister baggies, and our first aid kit slash repair tape kit. Hand warmers in the pack. Gaiters are gonna go in the pouch. The MICROSPIKES are gonna go with our buff and our acrylic stocking cap. BeFree water filter. Got our little tie back. Holes. Now you're going to pull these nice and tight. Keep everything secured so it don't fall out. It's not sweat rag. Heavy duty rain jacket, rain pants. On top for quick access. Get rained on. Haven't looked at the weather. The next few days look good. So I got my Crocs. I'll put on my carabiner. I'll just clip that to the outside. Ditty bag should have went inside the backpack. Garmin InReach is going to go on the outside of the backpack where it gets a good signal. Got my hygrometer, which sends a temperature through Bluetooth to my phone. That'll clip on the outside of the backpack. Tent stakes will go inside of the multi-pack. Wallet, car keys will go in a safe place. Toothpaste and toothbrush will just pack down inside of the mesh pocket. My headlamp and spare headlamp will go inside of the belt pouch, along with a couple of energy bars. And if we find ourselves getting into some night hiking, getting to camp after dark, we got a way to see. And that's basically my backpack all packed up.